Man, it's been a while since you guys have seen the Sx500 on the channel, and we are back with some upgrades, and we got to do some more modding to this thing to get this bike up and running. So first things first, we have to replace the motor caps on this EC4P. This is a first production model back from January 2023, and the motor holes, like the mounts themselves, have wallowed out and stripped all around the whole thing. And in a pinch, I was able to get a ratchet strap and tie it around the motor and hold this thing up into place. It was kind of crazy, but we got it to work. So first things first, take this bad boy out, and we have a brand new EC4P V2 rotor with the motor caps and the DetFab motor mount tensioner. This add-on bracket is only a couple of bucks, and it comes with multiple bolts for the different motor mount brackets themselves. So you gotta make sure you use the right length bolt. Originally, I put this long one in, it wasn't the correct one, so I had to swap that out. But very simple to add on. Instructions are very clear, and they are in the packet themselves. So as you can see, we got different lengths and even a couple of spare parts here. So it's great to see, and we are going to, knock this out. So this is gonna hush up all the haters who said this bracket won't hold. Mine's held perfectly fine, and I even marked on the bracket itself with a marker to see if the motor would slip, and it never did. So cool to see. And yeah, let's go ahead and work on this motor. So first things first, when you loosen up these screws, go ahead and tap them without removing them completely. What's that going to do is pop off the cap on the other end. When you are unscrewing this, please be very careful, as the screws are very soft, and I had a hell of a time trying to get them off. I actually had to modify one of the screws with a Dremel to get this bad boy out, but we sure enough got the whole rotor out. So once everything's loose, it pops out. But I need to tell you guys, you need to be extremely careful putting in the brand new rotor. If you're rebuilding this with other used parts, or you ordered a brand new upgraded rotor from Electro & Co., when slipping this in, it has insanely strong magnets, and it will absolutely pinch your fingers. So just be very careful. You can even see from me trying to get this thing out the plastic bag, the new screws, the little brass looking screws, was stuck to the rotor themselves. So once again, just be extremely careful when handling this. And as you can see, that was very close. So just be very careful with your fingertips on that. It will absolutely destroy them. So anyways, big thing here, you want to spin these caps, make sure everything lines up as it should. You can kind of peek through and see where the caps line up, and when you do that, go ahead and slip the screw in. But like I said, never use a drill, use a screwdriver. You will strip the heads off of these screws, and it will be a nightmare to get it in or out. So here I used a Dremel on the old one, as you can see here, and I put a slice in there so I can use a flat head to grip up on it. But don't use a drill, use a screwdriver. It will make life a whole lot easier. So another big solid tip here is when you're putting these metal screws into the aluminum housing of the motor, make sure you just use some Loctite. That way you don't over tighten and strip it, and this will hold the motor still without ever backing out. So maybe the guys who are having issues prior weren't using Loctite, but yeah, definitely just put a little bit on the tip there. It'll thread all the way on once you tighten the screw, and it should hold perfectly fine. And as you can see here, get everything lined up, add your Allen and tighten it up. Make sure, I personally liked leaving the motor bracket a little bit loose, and then tightening up the eye bolt first to position it, and then tighten the Allen all the way on the motor. So just you'll find your own method, and this is probably one of the only ways you get a big old tire on there like I just did. And I want to give a huge shout out to Pat Outdoors for supplying this EC4P rotor and motor caps. And with that, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one.